What is going on, IE Sports Radio fans? It is your boy, the SoCal Saint, back at it again with another new edition of the IE Sports Radio only and premier professional wrestling podcast. It is the IE Wrestling Show. What is good, everyone? I hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday afternoon if you're in the central United States or the East Coast. If it's still the morning, good morning to all of you guys on the Pacific Coast of the United States. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. We got a lot to talk about today, but first I just want to give a shout out to our loyal listeners and our loyal fans. Follow us on the X at IE Sports Radio. Please follow my show, my page at IE Wrestling Show. That's the at IE Wrestling Show X handle. Check out our website at iesportsradio.com. Join for completely free, and you can interact with all of the hosts of the IE Sports Radio Network premier sports shows. You can actually interact with us via our blog postings. You can comment on them, read them, check us out. If you want to learn a little bit more about us and our love for our professional sports teams and the sports that we love in general, check out our bios on the show. Also, please do yourself a favor, do us a favor. If you love what we do here, show us some love and throw some shekels our way at the IE Sports Radio shop. You can get yourself a hat, t-shirt. Some love to the IE Sports fam. Also show some love to one of our awesome, amazing sponsors that is keeping the lights on for us here. It is planetjerky.net. This jerky is delicious, no MSG, low in sugar, high in protein. It is 100% beef brisket, beef jerky. Don't just take my word for it. Do yourself a favor. Go to planetjerky.net. Order yourself some delicious jerky. I know firsthand how delicious it is because I have ate and tried it myself. It is magnifique, delicioso when it comes to beef jerky. Planet Jerky. This jerky is on a whole other planet. Ooh, yeah. We got a whole lot to talk about, guys. We got shout out to Jen B in the chat room. Thank you. Shout out to Taryn Rodriguez in the chat room. Thank you, guys, for the love. Thank you for tuning in. We got a lot to talk about. Last week, I had a lot of news to cover, and I wasn't able to get to it. So before we preview the upcoming weekend events of AEW's Full Gear, which is going to be live in Los Angeles, California at the Kia Forum, known to fans of, if you are a fan of the Los Angeles Lakers growing up, like I was, like I still am, but growing up in Southern California, before the Staples Center was ever a thing, the Great Western Forum, like it used to be known as, was the home of the Los Angeles Lakers, and now it's known as the Kia Forum. This will be the first pay-per-view event AEW will be hosting in California. That's coming to you live this Saturday night. I believe that's November 18th. Yeah, that's the date. The 18th. I do apologize. Getting my days mixed up. We're getting into the holidays, guys. Can you believe we're literally a week away from Thanksgiving, Black Friday, just a few short weeks away from Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and before you know it, it'll be 2024, and the road to WrestleMania will officially begin, and I'm going to start revving it up here on the IE Wrestling Show, because I feel like this is when I put on, I really kick into high gear, because it's the premier time to be a professional wrestling fan when it's the road to WrestleMania, but more on that later as we get closer to that. We're also going to take a deep dive into the next WWE Premium Live event, which is going to be coming to you live next Saturday on the 25th. It will be WWE Survivor Series War Games. War Games for the second year in a row will be taking place at Survivor Series. This new concept that integrates one of the best concepts that was ever created back in WCW, which was created by the legend, the man himself, God rest his soul, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, baby. And for the first time ever, his son, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, will be taking place in the match that his father helped create, the War Games match. More on that a little later. Also, we're going to be talking about the upcoming Friday Night War, Round 2 between AEW and WWE. A few weeks back, there was the Tuesday Night War, which was between NXT and AEW Dynamite, which NXT soundly whooped that ass, put the smack down, laid the smacketh down on AEW Dynamite. NXT won that night, and I feel like it's going to happen once again because this coming Friday, which is just 2 nights away, it will be AEW Collision, which is normally broadcast on Saturdays, but due to the pay-per-view being on a Saturday this month, Collision will be airing on a special start time and day, Friday at 8 p.m., 8 p.m., I believe, Eastern Standard Time. So it'll be broadcasting at the same time as SmackDown. SmackDown goes live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox. AEW Collision will be doing the same thing, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Friday. They will be going head-to-head once again. Collision and WWE's best show on the air today, which it has been for damn near this entire year, and mainly all of last year as well, which was Friday Night SmackDown. So that's happening this coming Friday. Hell, I'm talking about it now, so let's just get into it before we get into the news. So AEW and WWE are about to go head-to-head once again. But I feel like Tony Khan may have finally learned some sort of a lesson as opposed to what happened last time they went head-to-head, because there was a lot of peacocking, so to speak. He was puffing his chest out on on X. He was literally just... if fans remember, I reported on this. Tony Khan pretty much lost his mind. He kind of just went off on a tangent. He was tweeting at people. He was basically telling fans to go fuck themselves. He was basically telling people that AEW is going to kick NXT's ass. He was just going on and on and on, talking endless amounts of shit. He threw shade and took shots at Shawn Michaels and Triple H, the very lowest of low shots he could possibly take by calling them, bald assholes. It was just a mess. It just made Tony Khan look like a freaking psycho, or just someone that definitely looked like he was trying his best to look tough when it really came off as just sad and desperate, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But so this time, Tony Khan has been radio silent leading up to this. The only announcement he's made is for Collision is that it's happening this Friday. I don't even know what matches, if any matches, have been announced for Collision this Friday on TNT. I believe it's airing. I don't believe it's airing on TBS, but I could check that because normally it airs on TNT regardless every Saturday. But let me see here. I'm trying to find what the upcoming event is going to be showcasing for this Friday, the matches that they have announced. So, okay, here we go. So I found an article by SEScoops.com where they're going to be going head-to-head once again. Of course, Friday Night SmackDown will air in its normal time at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox. The show will go up against a special Friday night edition of AEW Collision, which will air at the exact same time, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TNT. As soon as Collision goes off the air, we'll get a special live edition of AEW Rampage, rounding out a 3-hour block of programming going into the following night's pay-per-view of AEW Full Gear. I'm sure Tony Khan is hoping for a better result, as in what happened during the Tuesday Night War a few weeks back when NXT soundly defeated AEW Dynamite with 921,000 viewers to Dynamite's 609,000 viewers. So for Friday Night SmackDown, this is what has been announced on the WWE end of things. This is what you could expect from the Blue brand leading into Survivor Series. We are 1 week away from Survivor Series. The big main event match has already been announced. It'll be the Bloodline's Jimmy Uso going one-on-one with the man, the megastar, L.A. Knight. Yeah! One-on-one. That should be a really good match. The show will also deal with the fallout of what happened at the end of SmackDown last Friday, which I want to talk about real quick. Last Friday night on SmackDown, we saw a very strong... okay, let me try to collect my thoughts here. Shout out to Marcus in the chat room. Thank you, sir, for tuning in to the show. I really appreciate the love. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening to the IE Wrestling Show. Sorry, had to show some love there. Anyway, so last week on SmackDown, the main event was a 6-woman tag team match. It was Damage Control with its newest member, Kairi Sane, the Sky Pirate Princess, who reunited with her former tag team partner and friend, Io Sky, and she helped Io retain the WWE Women's Championship at Crown Jewel against Bianca Belair, which led to a 6-woman tag team match main event on SmackDown last week. It was Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, and Asuka teaming up to take on Damage Control, which was Io Sky, Kairi Sane, and Bayley. It looked like the babyface team of Belair, Flair, and Asuka was going to get the victory, or at least have the momentum shift back to that team after Belair was soundly beaten down by Io and Kairi. It looked like we were about to get a hot tag to Asuka, which Asuka, just out of nowhere, just gave Bianca the cold shoulder, which led to Asuka turning on Bianca and turning on Charlotte, which led to a 5-on-2 beatdown from Dakota Kai, Kairi Sane, Bayley, Io Sky, and now Asuka, who has seemingly aligned herself with Damage Control. Damage Control now has seemingly become the biggest threat to the SmackDown Women's Division ever, as this now started out as just 3 women, has now become a 5-woman strong stable. And for anyone that wants to critique women's divisions throughout different companies, such as Stardom, which is an all-women's wrestling promotion, Impact Wrestling, which has a very strong women's division, the critique I know has been very, very negative with the way the women's division has been handled on AEW, which continues to this day. It is not where it should be. Honestly, it's almost like an afterthought at most of the time. But that's one thing you cannot take away from WWE is that, or Triple H, for a matter of fact, since he's the guy running the show now. Triple H knows how to book a strong women's roster and a strong women's storyline leading into a big match. Triple H, he has the track record of that. If you check out or revisit his time as booker or head of NXT back in the day when you had the 4 horsewomen. You had Sasha Banks, you had Bayley, you had Becky Lynch, you had Charlotte Flair. They were all pushed so strong. After 3 of those women ended up going up to the main roster, Bayley was left alone to hold and carry the torch of NXT as its women's champion, which introduced Nia Jax, which introduced Nikki Cross, which introduced Asuka, which introduced Shayna Baszler, then Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, so on and so forth. Triple H booked a very strong women's division in NXT, and now he's trying to rejuvenate and regroup and rebrand the women's division for the WWE on the main roster, and I feel like he is doing that. We've started to see more women's superstars showcased on WWE TV, ones that were sitting at home for the most part, not doing a damn thing for the last few months because, Papa McMahon, Vince himself, more on him later, wasn't interested in booking these certain talents. But in these last few months, since apparently Triple H has been given the book completely, he is now the head of creative, whereas Vince is not really there anymore in a full-time capacity any longer. You've seen the returns of Tegan Nox. You've seen the returns of Xia Li, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell have been getting some television time. Zoe Stark is now being pushed. She's going to be in a big match at Survivor Series War Games against Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. Nia Jax was hired back into the company. Shayna Baszler was getting a strong push, basically taking Ronda Rousey out of the WWE for good. Now this on SmackDown, you see the regroup and birth of a stronger stable for Damage Control. Now that Asuka and Kairi Sane have both aligned themselves with Bayley, Dakota Kai, and the WWE Women's Champion Io Sky. So I don't know what will the fallout be for SmackDown, but that's definitely a part of the show that I'm definitely going to be looking forward to. this coming Friday. Also, I'm sure fans are going to be wondering what's going to happen in this storyline that has been started between the tag team of Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, and the recent, quote-unquote, I'm sure it's kayfabe reasons, suspension, quote-unquote, air quotes, of Kevin Owens, who Kevin Owens was doing duty of commentary last Friday due to Corey Graves being given a night off due to the recent birth of his son with his fiance, or I think they're married now, his wife, WWE superstar and former WWE Women's Champion Carmella. Congratulations to the happy new parents and the birth of their healthy, happy baby boy. So congratulations to Corey Graves and Carmella on that. But Kevin Owens was told that he was only supposed to be working commentary that night, and Kevin Owens decided to break the agreement he made with SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis, where Nick Aldis told him, if you get physical with anyone, you're suspended, and Kevin Owens couldn't help himself with the stupidity of Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, and he decided to whip both of their asses, hitting stunners on both men, and soundly getting suspended because of it. So I wonder what's going to happen from the fallout of that. So SmackDown, that is what's been announced already so far for this week's show. I know, right, Marcus? I know. Marcus in the chat room. That's so funny. So this is the preview for this Friday. So this Friday special edition of Collision and the Rampage to follow. This is what Tony Khan has announced on their promotional material that has been submitted on X and their AEW official website. It'll be AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy will be in attendance. The AEW TBS Champion Chris Statlander will be in attendance. The AEW World Tag Team Champions Big Bill and Ricky Starks will be in attendance. The AEW TNT Champion Christian Cage will be in attendance. And, of course, the team stable known as Bullet Club Gold, which is the Guns, Juice Robinson, and the number one contender to the AEW World Championship, Switchblade Jay White. So nothing really soundly announced as far as like matches goes, but they're trying to pull out all the, no pun intended, big guns for this upcoming head-to-head, so we shall see. But I feel like Tony Khan should definitely remain silent. Do not go nuts. I mean, hell, it's only Wednesday, so who knows? Maybe that chip on his shoulder will rear its ugly head, and he'll start tweeting like an idiot once again. So I wouldn't hold your breath too soon. It's only Wednesday. He's got today and tomorrow. Hell, he even has the day of the event to act like an ass. So we'll see. So getting into some more wrestling news, so we'll head over into that. A lot of these news articles that I've been talking about here, or I've been wanting to talk about, I didn't get a chance to mention on last week's episode. So since I was talking about AEW, might as well jump into this. Apparently, this was reported by Fightful Select. AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery apparently, as of a few weeks ago, have been unable to come to terms on a deal which would include television rights, pay-per-view, as well as the library of All Elite Wrestling. Those at Warner Brothers Discovery say that Tony Khan has a particular value that he believes the AEW library is worth. Warner Brothers Discovery sources that were spoken to said that they've been very happy with the AEW partnership and look for it to continue. When asked about viewership numbers, however, which are often the talking point, one source there noted that it isn't anything that the company hadn't anticipated, especially going up against competition in the fall, which seems like a kind of a wishy-washy answer when you think about it, because AEW's numbers have been dropping way before the fall, way before the World Series kicked off, way before football kicked off, way before now basketball's back in session now as well. So I don't know what they mean by that. I feel like that was just kind of like a wishy-washy answer, because the ratings for AEW have been slightly declining for a long time, for quite some time, before all this was going on. Before they were opposed by the World Series and the NFL and so on and so forth. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe in Tony Khan's mind, AEW is worth so much more, but I don't know. We shall see. So this is an interesting tidbit. This was revealed by the WWE's longest reigning and current reigning defending Intercontinental Champion, the Ring General Gunther. Gunther was recently doing an interview, which was for, I can't remember what podcast he was doing this interview on, but he stated that in this interview that he is not allowed to leave the United States for the next 6 months due to strict residency regulations as he's becoming an official United States resident. Now that's what he's attempting to do anyway. He's in the process of doing that. So this means he will not be able to compete at WWE's Elimination Chamber Premium Live event this coming February in Australia. It's going to be live in Perth, Australia for the first time ever on the road to WrestleMania in a huge stadium. I can't remember which stadium it is in Australia, but it's definitely it's a big one that I know they've done a show at before. But in Perth, the Intercontinental Champion will not be there. And the following month after that, I don't believe he'll be able to attend to that either. Well, WrestleMania will still be here in Philadelphia, but I believe they go on an international tour after WrestleMania, and he won't be able to attend to that either. I don't even know if he'll be cleared by that time to travel to be a part of the big event that was announced for Berlin, Germany. But I believe he should be by that time, but we shall see. But for now, we know for a fact, based on this, Gunther will not be able to attend the Elimination Chamber event in Australia. That's going to suck for any Gunther fans in Australia that were expecting to see him compete. So, WWE is interested in signing NJPW Women's World Champion, or Strong Women's Champion, Julia. Citing sources from Japan, PW Insider reports that WWE has been courting NJPW Strong Women's Champion Julia. One source is said to have stated that the talks between Julia and the company have progressed enough that she is expected at the WWE Performance Center sometime this month. However, Julia is under contract to Bushiroad until March of 2024. The plan had been for Julia to defend her title against Mercedes Moné, aka formerly known as Sasha Banks, once she was cleared to return. That was reported by Tuna Meltzer himself, Dave Meltzer. However, this is still no timetable for Monet to get back in the ring after suffering a broken ankle back in May. Julia has had some of the highest rated matches of 2023. Meltzer rated her match against Tom Nakano at All-Star Grand Kingdom in April 4 3/4 stars, if you go by the Wrestling Observer star ratings as gospel. Meltzer has confirmed Julia is under contract to Bushiroad until 2024 of March. Regarding her possibly being at the PC later this month, it's doubtful Bushiroad would allow this, and her booking schedule would make it difficult up until January's NJPW Battle in the Valley in San Jose. So just stay tuned, guys. I'll have more on that later, but it seems that WWE is definitely wanting to bring in one of New Japan's top female talents into the company. Speaking of New Japan, Tetsuya Naito, the number one contender to the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, will undergo surgery to improve the superior oblique muscle paralysis in his right eye, causing double vision, before his world title match at Wrestle Kingdom. Due to that fact, he will miss out on the upcoming World Tag League Tour tournament. So Naito will not be in attendance for those shows, as he will be healing from the surgery that he is going to be taking here shortly, or by this time he's probably already had the surgery, because that article came out on the 5th of November. So speedy recovery to Tetsuya Naito there. Hopefully he'll make a speedy recovery and be good and ready for New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom 18, which is taking place right after the new year. It's like literally the first week of New Year's is when Wrestle Kingdom takes place. So some AEW talents are no longer under contract, quietly released from the company. The Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny have all been released from their AEW contracts. They were not renewed. So the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny are no longer under contract. The Bunny known better to wrestling fans as Allie during her time in Impact Wrestling, is actually the real-life wife to the Butcher, whose real name escapes me at the moment, but her real name, Laura Dennis, for all you fans of hers, especially your male fans out there. She has just recently opened an OnlyFans account. So if you're interested in helping her out, I believe it's $20 a month or something like that I saw reported by the Wrestling Observer newsletter. And her prospects for professional wrestling right now are kind of up in the air. I don't know if she, the Butcher and the Blade, will return or show up in Impact, aka TNA, or if maybe there's some feelers from WWE. Who knows? But right now, they are no longer under contract to All Elite Wrestling. This is some sad news in the world of independent wrestling, especially a company that is so widely known in Southern California. This is a huge blow to the Southern California professional wrestling scene. Really sad to hear this, but this was officially announced on the official PWG X account at official PWG by the owner of the company, Super Dragon. PWG will be shutting down indefinitely as Super Dragon takes time off to be with his girlfriend, who is currently suffering from an aggressive form of cancer. That's so sad. This is what he wrote here on the official PWG X page. I know a lot of you have been wondering what is going on with PWG and why there haven't been many events this year. My girlfriend has been very sick and battling an aggressive cancer since earlier this year. It's been incredibly difficult for me to focus on anything else. Recently, things took a turn for the worse, and I need to take some time away from wrestling. There will be no more PWG events this year. We will return as soon as possible in 2024. Thank you all for the support. So, I want to speak for my colleagues here at the IE Sports Radio and for myself here at the IE Wrestling Show. Prayers of healing go out to Super Dragon and his girlfriend. Hopefully, God puts his healing hands on her, and hopefully some good comes out of that. Hopefully that she can make a speedy recovery or see something turn from worse to good. That's what I'm praying and hoping for. And sometimes life hits you. Wrestling is usually an escape when you're going through something so terrible in your life. That's how I always viewed wrestling. Wrestling was always my escape to get away from the bad times, the stressful times, the sad times. And right now, Super Dragon, who is a legend in the indie wrestling scene, cannot focus on his escape at the moment, as he needs to focus on helping his girlfriend and being there for her. So prayers to them. Hopefully we get a better result. Here's some good news coming from Super Dragon in the near future. But the hits just keep on coming for PWG. As it was announced today, I saw this on Dirt Sheet Radio's official Facebook page, that the Globe Theater, known as PWG's home and the site of many legendary matches in the SoCal area, has shut down immediately and permanently, apparently. I don't understand. There's nothing more reported about why this has happened, but the Globe Theater is now no more, and it will be gone forever. I don't know if the owner sold the property or sold the building, or if there's some sort of demolition in the future for the Globe Theater, but a legendary spot like that for professional wrestling, especially in the SoCal area, is no more, which is really sad to see. Let's see what else I got here for you guys. I told you there's so much to talk about. Okay, let's jump into some rumors about Vinnie Mac himself, Vince McMahon. So Vince McMahon, there's an article that came out stating that Vince McMahon may be gone from TKO sooner rather than later. TKO, the owners of the WWE, said in an SEC filing just a week ago that Mr. McMahon's membership on our board could have adverse financial and operational impacts on our business. it says it could expose them to negative publicity and have adverse financial and operational impact on their business dealings. So that article came out, and then this news came out that apparently Vince McMahon is selling his 8,400,000 shares in TKO. This is about 30% of his roughly 28 million company shares he holds before this transaction. Ari Emanuel and Mark Shapiro have indicated an interest in buying 1 and 1.85 million worth of those shares, respectively. So I don't know if this is the start of Vince McMahon just saying, he's throwing his hands up and saying, that's it, fuck it, I'm done. I'll just walk away before I'm told to stay home. You know what I mean? It'd probably be embarrassing and hard for Vince to swallow to have someone, since now he's no longer his own boss. Vince has a boss now. This has got to be the first time since working for his own father, Vince McMahon Sr., back in the late 70s, early 80s, that Vince McMahon actually has to report to someone, because Ari Emanuel is now his boss. That's so crazy to say. Growing up as a professional wrestling fan, growing up as a WWF fan, WWE now, that Vince McMahon has someone he answers to when everyone used to answer to him. So now Vince has people that he has to answer to, particularly Ari Emanuel. So I feel like maybe Vince's ego will not allow him to be ousted or told, it's time to go home, Vince. Like, he would rather be the one to initiate that before anyone else initiates it for him. I want to shout out a very special mention, WWE's member of the creative team and producer and friend of the head of creative Triple H. Of course, I'm talking about member of D-Generation X Hall of Famer, the Road Dogg, Jesse James. Oh, you didn't know? Just last week, he posted a awesome milestone for him. Today marks 13 years that I have been clean of drugs and alcohol. My life is 100% better. I have learned to look inward and make course corrections and improvements as I go. I ain't perfect, but he is. I'll continue to listen to that still small voice. Thank you, God. So I just wanted to show some love to the Road Dogg, Jesse James. Congratulations on that. Congratulations to your sobriety. 13 years strong. That's fucking fantastic. Let's give Road Dogg here from the IE Wrestling Show a round of a freaking applause for that. How about that, guys? A round of applause and congratulations to the Road Dogg, Jesse James, on 13 years of sobriety. That's really good. By the grace of God, I hope he continues that and continues on his path and staying strong, staying sober. I'm really glad to hear that. So God bless him. God bless you, Road Dogg Jesse James. Definitely one of my favorites from the Attitude Era of the WWE back in the late 90s. So, like I stated earlier, the road to WrestleMania kicks off really, really soon. We're at the tail end of this year, and the road to WrestleMania kicks off in January with the Royal Rumble. But WWE has already announced on their website, if you go to WWE.com, WWE unveils the schedule for major events for WrestleMania week in Philadelphia. WWE has announced its initial schedule of major events planned for WrestleMania week in Philadelphia, including 3 events coming to you live at the Wells Fargo Center. It will be Friday, April 5th, Friday Night SmackDown, followed by the 2024 WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Just like the last few years, you get a double whammy. You get 2 for 1 with your tickets. You buy 1 ticket, you get to attend SmackDown, and you get to attend the 2024 Hall of Fame induction ceremony that comes live directly after SmackDown. And then on Saturday, April 6th, it's a doubleheader, especially if you plan on going to WrestleMania, with WrestleMania being 2 nights in a row, Saturday, April 6th, Sunday, April 7th. You're going to get a triple whammy if you plan on attending this show earlier in the afternoon. It will be Saturday, April 6th. I don't have a time. I believe it will be around noon or 1 p.m. in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. It will be NXT Stand and Deliver. NXT's premier WrestleMania, I would say their WrestleMania-esque event is now Stand and Deliver. And last year's event was any indication, this will be another awesome show. Last year's, which was just earlier this year. Earlier this year at the 2023 Stand and Deliver, we got to see Carmelo Hayes become the NXT champion, defeating Braun Breaker. Hopefully we'll see more memories, more excitement, more progression in the future of the WWE with the NXT roster on Saturday, April 6th with NXT Stand and Deliver. Of course, then later that evening and then the following evening, it will be WrestleMania's Night 1 and Night 2. And then the following Monday, April 8th, it will be the night after WrestleMania, the Raw after WrestleMania, Monday Night Raw. All coming to you live from the Wells Fargo Center. And an exclusive pre-sale opportunity for special 3-day event combo tickets will take place today. And they have gone on sale already. They're actually on sale now, fans, as I'm speaking. And they started going on sale at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Fans can now register if you haven't already. The pre-sale, I don't know if you're already registered, then maybe you cannot. Still, but it'll be WWE.com/WrestleMania-weekend-presale. General public on sale for combo tickets will be available this coming Friday, November 17th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you go via Ticketmaster.com, additional details on individual tickets are being released for each event will follow. In celebration of WrestleMania 40, WWE, in partnership with Fanatics Events, will also stage a first-of-its-kind multi-day WWE fan and collector event in the heart of Philadelphia. WrestleMania 40 will take place at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia on Saturday and Sunday, April 6th and 7th. Broke the company's all-time gate record in one day with more than 90,000 tickets sold when it went on sale this past August. Limited tickets for WrestleMania 40 are still available via Ticketmaster.com. In addition, limited exclusive ticket packages are available for WrestleMania 40 via On Location at onlocation.com/WM40. So take a look at that, fans. If you're wanting to be a part of the biggest show of the year, the Granddaddy of them all, the Super Bowl of professional wrestling, the World Series of wrestling, the NBA Championship of wrestling, the Indy 500 of wrestling, I can go on and on. The Olympics of professional wrestling, it is WWE WrestleMania. But with that, guys, we're going to take a short little break here. We will be back with some more wrestling news. We're going to get into this coming Saturday night's AEW Full Gear event, and we'll get into a little bit of Survivor Series War Games. So stay tuned, take care, and we'll be right back.
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS. The SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Taryn Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back, IE Sports Radio fans and fans of the IE Wrestling Show, your direct feed for all that is professional wrestling on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports, IE Sports Radio. If you're tuning in just now, thank you for tuning in. It's your boy, the SoCal Saint. We went over the head-to-head that's about to happen this coming Friday with AEW and WWE going head-to-head on Friday night. The Friday Night War, this is round 2. It'll be Collision and Friday Night SmackDown going head-to-head at the exact same time, 8 p.m. Eastern to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. AEW will be airing live on TNT, whereas WWE on Fox will be airing live this coming Friday. And we got into some wrestling news, of course. But there was one little tidbit I forgot to mention I did want to make a note of and talk about. So this past Friday night on SmackDown, we saw the sad betrayal. Once again, I swear, anyone that is close to Rey Mysterio just fucking hates Rey Mysterio, man, because it seems like no matter what this poor man does, this legend is always getting his ass kicked by someone so close to him, and this time it was his LWO counterpart, Santos Escobar, turning on Rey and taking him out by putting his leg in between the steel posts and the steel stairs and kicking them, sending him out kayfabe style, because apparently Rey suffered another knee injury. Man, poor Rey and his damn knees, man. But Rey is actually out. He has confirmed via his official social media pages that he has had a successful knee surgery. This is more of a routine cleanup, as he talked about, rather than reconstructive surgery, which hopefully means he'll be back sooner rather than later. And they used the attack by Santos Escobar as a way to justify the operation, quote-unquote, kayfabe reasons. So hopefully Rey will be back sooner rather than later. But this should probably lead to a really great match between himself and Santos, a real grudge match. But I don't know what this holds for the future of the LWO. What does this mean? Does Carlito now join Rey as the de facto co-leader of the group? Does Zelina Vega stay with Rey? Does Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro stay by Rey's side? Or do they turn on Rey as well and rejoin up with Santos and reform Legado del Fantasma? I guess that's just another thing that we'll have to wait and see what happens this coming Friday on SmackDown. But if you're looking forward to the next pay-per-view event that is coming to you live this coming Saturday, if you plan on buying it or if you actually plan on attending, it'll be live from the Kia Forum in the Los Angeles suburb of Inglewood, California. It is AEW Full Gear 2023. And these are the matches that have been announced so far for the event. On the pre-show, which I have to give credit to Tony Khan for keeping the pre-show one match, unless he changes his mind here in the next 2 days, because tonight AEW Dynamite will air live on TBS. And then, of course, Friday you have Rampage and you have Collision. So there's plenty of time for Tony Khan to squeeze in 5 or 6 more matches on the pre-show like he loves to do. But right now, he only has one match announced for AEW's version of a pre-show they call the Buy-In, which usually airs live on YouTube and on AEW social media platforms. It will be MJF and a partner that is yet to be announced, defending the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles against the Guns, Austin and Colton Gunn of Bullet Club Gold. Of course, MJF is one half of the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, along with Adam Cole, baby. But Adam Cole, baby, is out with an injury because of his ankles. Like how I did that? I rhymed. And these are the official matches of the official card for AEW Full Gear. It will be for the AEW Women's World Championship. We will see Hikaru Shida defend her AEW Women's World title against Timeless Toni Storm. I'm butchering her name. Hikaru Shida is in her 5th reign as AEW Women's Champion, and Toni Storm is a former AEW Women's Champion looking to win her 2nd AEW Women's World title. In a 6-man tag team match, it will be Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne, known to collectively as the Patriarchy, taking on the team of Sting, Darby Allin, and Rated R Adam Copeland, a.k.a. Edge, of course, or formerly known as Edge, Adam Copeland. And apparently Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, will be in their corner for this 6-man tag team match. Woo! One-on-one match for the AEW International Championship. Orange Cassidy will be defending the AEW International Championship against Blackpool Combat Club member Jon Moxley. It just announced this past week on Collision. It was given this stipulation: a Texas death match. It will be Hangman Adam Page going one-on-one with Swerve Strickland, and he's going to have Prince Nana in his corner. Texas death match between Strickland and Page. If anybody deserves to win this match, it's got to be Strickland. Strickland is on a roll. I feel like they're finally doing something with him there in AEW. Hopefully this turns into something big where Strickland will eventually get a world championship match, because Strickland deserves to have some gold around his waist. The only time he touched gold in AEW was when he was AEW World Tag Team Champion with Keith Lee in the Swerve in Our Glory tag team. But that was very short-lived. And in a big tag team match, if the Golden Jets win, they will get the Young Bucks AEW World Tag Team Championship opportunity. But if the Young Bucks win, the Golden Jets must disband as a team forever. It will be the Golden Jets, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, going 2-on-2 against Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. In a 3-way match for the AEW TBS Championship, Chris Statlander defends the title against Julia Hart and Red Velvet or Blue Sky, because this coming week, I believe it's tonight, on Dynamite, it'll be a match between Red Velvet and Sky Blue. The winner of the match will be the 3rd participant in the 3-way match. So it'll be either Statlander, Julia Hart, and Red Velvet, or Statlander, Hart, and Sky Blue. And in a 4-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team titles, it will be Ricky Starks and Big Bill defending the AEW World Tag Team titles against La Facción Ingobernable. Oh, God, I think I said that, but I butchered that wrong. See, I don't know why they call it like that, because in New Japan it's Ingobernables de Japón, I think, or something like that. But yeah, La Facción Ingobernable. It'll be Rush and Dragalisto, the team of Rush and Dragalisto, taking on the team of FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Hardwood, taking on the team of Kings of the Black Throne, Malachi Black, and Brody King. And in the main event, if MJF is able to survive the tag team title match from the pre-show, he will have to go in one-on-one competition against the leader of Bullet Club Gold for the AEW World Championship. It will be MJF defending the title against Switchblade Jay White. That's going to be coming to you live on pay-per-view this coming Saturday night. And then again next week on the 25th of November, coming to you live on Peacock. If you subscribe to the Peacock app, if you're watching it internationally or listening internationally, you can watch this on the WWE Network internationally. It will be WWE Survivor Series War Games. That's right, War Games is coming to you live from the Allstate Arena in the Chicago suburb of Rosemont, Illinois. This will be the second War Games match at Survivor Series. The first time the main roster did this was last year in 2022. They had 2 awesome War Games matches. They had the female War Games match, and they had a men's War Games match, which famously was the Bloodline with the Usos, Solo Sikoa, Sami Zayn, and the Tribal Chief himself, Roman Reigns, taking on the team of Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, and the Brawling Brutes, Sheamus, Butch, and Ridge Holland. And this year will be no different. This year, I'm really looking forward to it, especially with these matches that have been announced so far. More matches will surely be announced. I'm sure another War Games match will be announced. For certain, you can take my word for this. I believe our next War Games match that will be announced will be Damage Control. It'll be Asuka, Bayley, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane against Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, and 2 other unnamed partners as of yet, but I feel certain that will be one of the War Games matches for sure. I know Dakota Kai is still not cleared to be in wrestling, to be wrestling anyway, to do anything physical due to her knee injury that she suffered earlier this year. So all she's been really doing is just being at ringside, not really getting physical at all. So I don't believe Dakota will be in the match unless they find another replacement to make it a 5-woman team against another 5-woman team. But for now, I believe it's going to be a 4-on-4 women's War Games match. But, we'll just wait and see. Don't take my word for it. But the matches that are officially announced for War Games will be Gunther defending the Intercontinental Championship against The Miz, going one-on-one. The one-on-one match will be for the Women's World Championship. It will be Zoe Stark challenging the Women's World Champion and de facto leader of the Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley. And the main event, which was announced, it will be the Men's War Games match. It'll be the Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, and J.D. McDonough, who is now officially a member of the Judgment Day after this past Monday Night on Raw, being presented with his own Judgment Day vest by Damian Priest, taking on the team of Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, the World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins, and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes finally going to be able to participate in a match that was created by his father, the War Games match. But I believe this match is going to grow, especially after the events that what happened this past Monday Night on Raw with Drew McIntyre finally turning heel and seemingly aligning himself with the Judgment Day after he hit a Claymore kick on Jey Uso, costing Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles in the main event of Raw, securing the victory for Balor and Priest. Then he walked to the stage of Raw where he shook hands with the devil herself, Rhea Ripley. So I believe Drew McIntyre will soon be added to this War Games match, and then that leaves a spot open on Cody Rhodes' team, which the internet has been going abuzz about this, and it's for certain, no matter what anyone says, it's for certain it's going to be, finally, the return of the Viper himself, the legend killer, Randy Orton, will be the 5th man in the War Games match for Cody Rhodes' team. It is a guaranteed certainty that Randy Orton is coming back, and he will be live, and he will be a part of Cody Rhodes' team for War Games. I am so excited to see Randy Orton finally coming back to the WWE, back after his back surgery that took him out last year. Randy has missed a lot of time in the ring since having that back surgery. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing seeing Randy Orton coming back and doing what he does best, entertaining the WWE universe, entertaining us wrestling fans. It's going to be great. The fans are going to go crazy when they see Randy Orton coming back. He's going to have a huge, massive pop. Now, I don't know what's going to happen for certain when it comes to you-know-who, because they're in his backyard. The internet has been abuzz ever since. These little subtle hints have been being dropped. These lines have been dropped by other superstars. CM Punk himself has even been making tweets and teases and whatever. I don't know. We don't know. They're keeping it very close to the chest. Is there any chance that CM Punk shows up in Chicago now that he's no longer employed by AEW? I guess you'll just have to tune in and see. Do I believe it? Not really. I'm not holding my breath. But never say never in professional wrestling. And you never know what's going to happen at a WWE event. That is for sure. With that, guys, that's it. This has been another awesome edition of the IE Wrestling Show. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves as much as I enjoyed putting it on for you. Please give it a like, a subscribe. If you're listening on the download later, please show some love. If you're listening on YouTube later, please give it a like and subscribe to the IE Sports Radio channel on YouTube. Please show me some love. Hit follow on my X page at IE Wrestling Show. Show some love to IE Sports Radio at IE Sports Radio. Check out our website, our merch store. Check out planetjunkie.net. And please come back next week. We'll be here live once again. Same SoCal Saint time. Same SoCal Saint channel. And for everyone, I'm out. Peace.